What have we been doing? It's our last stream of the week, guys, Thursday today, so I'm hoping to get the cutscene more or less finished. Probably not going to finish it all, and whatever I don't finish I'm going to do over the weekend, and it'll be ready for Monday. That's going to be the goal, because I'd like to move on to something different on Monday that isn't doing cutscenes. We spent a long time doing cutscenes now, nothing wrong with that. Like to make sure it's perfect and put the time in, but I'd really like to make this map look pretty in particular, because it's pretty boring at the moment, just a plain old road and a bit of a grass. But we're going to really make this look cool. We're going to make a cool parallax map, guys, so we'll do some parallax mapping. We'll even make this cart inside look better. We're quite limited on what we can do here because there's such a small amount of space, and the barrels are more or less going to move in every square. This might be a couple of free ones, though. We can always put some objects there for decoration where they don't move. We've got to change the curtain as well, maybe get some better wood tiles as well. So it's all going to be about that next week, or at least the start of next week. And then yeah, I'm super excited to get the cutscene done, and I'm going to get a YouTube sneak peek video up of the whole cutscene once it's done. And then we'll get back to the Everbloom Forest and finalising that dungeon and the first boss and the cutscene that happens there, and we encounter the first boss. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be super fun. You but them involved is then you're haunted by the ever increasing notification number. Yeah, for sure. It's definitely one of those things. I guess it just comes to the stage where you either have to limit the number of discords you're in, or you can order the discords as well. I believe you can drag the icons. Sometimes that has to be done. Hi Empire, hi Miss, you're very talented, everything you do is awesome, great. So thank you. That's very, very nice and kind to say. I appreciate that. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Okay, so yesterday we were working on the outside part more of when Carol rolls out, and we were trying to get Rose involved in the scene, because Rose is a key part of this cutscene. We've more or less done the stuff inside the wagon. We want to get more reaction from some of the characters, because we've only really done Hank, Oliver and Carol at the moment, and we're probably going to put a bit of dialogue in between as well, just to break the action up just a touch. But we do need to add a bit more to this scene and finalise things, so that's what we're going to spend the start of the stream doing today. We're going to have the sound muted. I'm probably very likely going to be working on adding the sound effects over the weekend off stream, because we still got quite a bit of visual stuff to do, and I want to work on finalising that today, so the sounds can come after. If we have time and we do finish the visual stuff, we can start the sounds today, but it might be unlikely because there's quite a lot of work to still do visually. We have made a little start on the sounds. We went on some websites and looked for like some barrel roll noises and wood falling, thudding on the floor. And we got to add some fast horse sounds and sword slashes and like human like grunts or getting injured noises, just to like show that there's a hijacking happening outside. We need to make sure that we reflect what's happening in the scene. So there's quite a bit of sounds to do, that's for sure, but we're gonna work on the visuals first, and then I'm going to do the sound after. But by Monday I'm hoping that there's going to be a really cool scene to show, and it'll just be about making the map super pretty at that point. Also, Friendly Orc, thank you for joining the Discord. I mute all mine except for the ones I'm active in or work discords, and turn notifications only for me tags. Yeah, that seems like a good approach if it gets a bit overwhelming dark. So yeah, I mean, I always put announcements and news, anything important, up in my Discord. So like, for example, when I wasn't streaming for 3 weeks, everything went in there. Like, so if you're ever curious about me, folks, and for some reason I'm not live and you're wondering where I am, then always look in the important news section on my Discord. You're going to verbally produce all sound, right? Imagine if I did, and how long I'd be here till making just episode 1 alone if I did every single thing myself in this game. Like, even like the way we're doing it right now, we're borrowing a lot of resources, well, using a lot of resources. It's still going to take a hell of a longer amount of time than I expected it to, because the original plan was an episode 1 release in the spring. But it's spring now, and I can tell you it will not be coming out in the spring. So 2020 is still the goal for episode 1, but we're not giving any month dates or anything at this stage. We're going to see how the progress goes throughout the first half of the year, and then we'll probably get more of an idea at that point. Just grunting to a microphone for 3 hours to get the perfect tone, I know, right? And looking for sounds itself is time consuming. Sometimes trying to find the perfect sound. But it's kind of cool that there's resources out there that let you have things for free, even for commercial projects. I'm surprised. But yeah, the website and everything is gonna credit anything that I'm using, and the game as well. We'll credit it, of course. We'll have to add a credit section to the website at some point, because we've already got quite a bit of credits already and we've only just started. So right, let's carry on with cutscenes. We're gonna play through it first before we get into it, because I need to remind myself where we ended. I did a little bit of work off stream last night, but some time got spent doing Meryl the Barrel last night, so I spent some time designing that, but I'm quite pleased that I managed to do that in one night, plus a bit more cutscene work. Now, is this like a full-time thing you are doing, or just in spare time? I don't think I ever asked or heard you mention it before. Full-time, because I'm in a position where I'm not having anything else take up my time right now. But in the future, of course, if something does, if I have to like work elsewhere and put my priorities into something else, I will have to switch this project to spare time, and my streaming hours will have to change, but that's not something on the agenda yet. So right now I'm doing this full time and making the most of it. So yes, I stream 4 times a week, and really that's sort of part-time, I guess, but the off-stream time I spend doing this is a lot of time, so it kind of makes it full-time. Who knew barrels were so relatable? I know, right? Hi Sean, where's my accent from? England, in the Midlands, so the centre part of the UK, above London, but under Scotland, basically. Midlands, got you, yay. Okay, so let's do a test plan. I think I've got the sound muted in the back. We're doing mute testing so we don't get distracted by any in-game sounds. It can be so easy to like get distracted by the sound effects you've put in and not look at the visuals, so it can help. It helps me anyway. So we've just like skipped. There's way more of this scene that comes before what's happening right now, but we're only doing the testing of what we're working on currently, so that we don't have to go through a ton of, oops, my keyboard, there we go. So we don't have to go through a ton of scene before because we have to like do a ridiculous amount of testing. Bottom left corner of your screen share. What's the bottom left hand corner? I worked with a bunch of people like East Bristol, Manchester, couldn't play shares. Oh, okay, interesting. It's quite funny because Britain has so many accents. People who live in my area still don't sound like me, a lot of them. So everybody, like, I've got friends from uni and school who were from the area that are nothing like me. So many accents. Sound is one thing I've yet to work in game projects, something I'm trying to get work with on my current project without music composer, just waiting for them to have some time from that other job to help. Awesome. Yeah, sound I feel is super underrated as well. Everybody's like, wow, that art's pretty, or about any game in general. It's always about the art, and the sound kind of gets like not paid attention to enough, but it makes such a difference, I think. That's where you were from, Rose. Oh, that's true. That's it. 100% correct, Azrael. I live on twitch.tv/Rose Rainblood. My first accent was from around Norwich, but that's gone long ago. My accent's, I think, it's the same. I've always had the same voice ever since I was little. So you have, Dark is saying, you're trying to get to work on your current project without a music composer. Oh, right. Just waiting for them to have some time from their other job tab. Oh, so you do have a music composer, or you don't? One thing about Raindrop Chronicles that I'm like kind of challenging myself with is to do it on a £0 budget, really. I want to either do it myself or find all the stuff that I can't do myself or don't have the time to do myself will be free resources, because for a start I'm not rich, so that's one thing, and I just think it would be pretty cool to say that you've done it on a £0 budget. But everybody's in a different situation. I totally get I think it's pretty cool if people have a team of people who'll pay out for the project. It makes it even more awesome. That's super cool. I was sending some emails to some people the other week. I sent out my website to some people online who write on websites, and one got back to me and they said that they could sort of do a article on Raindrop Chronicles, but they wanted to know what my budget was, and I was like, okay, well, that's not gonna be happening then, because I'm not gonna be paying for Raindrop Chronicles to be written about. Was it 2014? No, 2015. I was working on a game with somebody else. The project was unfortunately cancelled, so it never finished because of personal reasons. But that game got written about for free. We didn't have to pay the person to write about us. So I feel like, yeah, you don't have to pay. If the game's good, they'll write about it anyway. I'm excited for this game. Yay, thank you, Sean. I mean, if the sound is horrible, you can't set the right mood for the game, so the end user will not have the intended experience, which is a big thing. Yeah, well, that's very true as well. Sometimes you have no choice but to get a professional involved if it is going to make the game quality much better. And that's the thing, isn't it? If you're going to be doing it on a £0 budget, it's like, how far can you go to make that a good experience? But I'm going to try my best. Raindrop Chronicles is going to be no, sort of masterpiece. I'm sure, but I think you can go a long way if you try hard. We'll say. We do have one, and she's working on some movie right now, but she said she will get with me to help out on the learning side of it for this project. Cool. Good job, Doc. People that want you to pay for reviews always feels a little scammy. Agree, Binary. Yeah, I didn't even reply because I've done it. I'm not like naive to the industry. I've worked on, like I said, I worked on a game before and managed to get that game to achieve online attention without having to pay. So I'm totally aware, because of that alone, you don't need to have to pay somebody to write about your game. Some people will probably pay these people because they're desperate and just think, oh gosh, I want people to notice it, so they do it anyway. But unfortunately, I think that you're kind of being fooled if you do that. Like you said, it's a bit scammy. So yeah, we have like a team of 12 right now, all volunteer basis, but we have applied for some grants. The first one we have applied for, we advanced to round 2, just waiting to hear back on if we advance to the next round. Oh, cool. 12, a team of 12. That's pretty cool. Quite a decent sized team, not huge by any means, but just makes you realise the amount of work that goes into games. Like, there's a lot of people that work on games. You look at the credits in games and they go on forever, the list. So it can, for one person alone, it's a huge undertaking. That's for sure. Make sure you get contracted up, Dark. Yeah, Binary knows what he's talking about, and Azriel as well. Both of those guys know what they're doing. Already covered. We have our binding contracts and NDAs and everything squared away, and already had a lawyer look them over. Yeah. See, this is where when it comes to the law stuff, this is where I am a bit. I have little knowledge on how the whole thing works. So yes, things can get a little conversing. It's amazing how many people don't. Yeah, me, for example. Like I said, I'm not naive. Like, I don't get scammed easily by people who are like, what's your budget? I'll write a review for you. I don't fall for stuff like that, but at the same time, I can be a little bit ignorant when it comes to law stuff. It's not a topic I'm very, I've put a lot of time into looking into. Probably because it's boring, but that's not a good excuse. I wouldn't say I know what I'm talking about. I've only been working full time in the industry for a few years, but these things always pop up. Yeah. This is a different situation for us, though. The CEO of the studio is also using part of this as her senior year in college project, which it's not just a game, but also a mixed media project. So we have to have everything checked and verified before we can proceed. Sounds super complicated. See, if I'd need like proper professional advice if I was wanting to understand this stuff. I don't know. This is why I like to keep things humble with myself and on no budget, because as soon as you start making things more complicated, that's when my brain's gonna go like that, and I'll be getting all and then I'll get burnt out and cry. So I get a lot of enjoyment just from messing about and doing this as it is. Sean, thank you for the 100 bitties. Are your gift notifications working? Well, we had a notification pop up then, didn't we, guys? I believe they are. I hope so anyway. Thank you so much for the 100 bits. I appreciate that. People have been very generous with the bitties so far this month. They're badges, that's what it is. Badges, I mean emotes, sorry. I keep saying badges because it's always been badges in the past with bits, rewards. The emote thing has only just happened. Feels very unnatural to say emotes from bits. Programmer and a bit of design. Just want to make sure you get what you're supposed to. Yay, thank you. Thank you for the support. Let's have some hype in chat. Yay. Hype for Sean. I can understand programming, but I can't code from memory. Yeah, the amount of people that come into this stream that think I'm a programmer is pretty crazy. They're like, you a coder? You a programmer? I'm like, no. What you got to realise is that there's a ton of roles and different skill sets when it comes to making a game. Coding, of course, is extremely important. Can't have a game without the code. But people's skill sets do lie elsewhere. There's many departments in studios. It's not just coders in studios. So, yeah, I mean, I'm more of a ideas person, and I like deciding things and like making and building something and putting it all together. And you don't necessarily have to be a coder to do that. You can have an imagination in another way. So there's many talents. Everybody has their strengths and their weaknesses. That's why you need a team sometimes. I've done a little bit of just about every job of a development process. That's cool as well. It's always handy to know a bit of it, all of it, and dabble in bits. That's what Google and Stack Overflow is for. Stack Overflow is like an absolute blessing to the internet. I had a website issue when I was doing my website, and somebody on there helped, and it's like, yes, thank you. I will also end up helping out Unity guy out eventually. Soft skills as well, teamwork and communication. You can be shit out of programming, but we won't work with you if it turns out you're an arse. Exactly. In coding, I find it's put on a massive pedestal by people, as if it's the only thing that exists as a game developer. I mean, maybe I'm wrong saying that, but from what I've seen, people that have approached me and come in stream, new people mainly, have been, you coder lady, and I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm just a geek. that like trying stories and coming up with fun ideas. People have a very good understanding of programming and whatnot. I remember back in high school, I was writing HTML and CSS in class, and a student told our teacher that I was hacking the school. Took a solid 30 minutes to convince them I was just making a landing page for a website. Oh my goodness. Hacking the school. People need to chill. Greetings, been a while. I see game coming along nicely. Hi Dive, how's it going? Good to see you. Yeah, me and having a bit of a ramble and a chit chat today. Some streams that happens, and sometimes I like to do that, just to sit for a bit and chat. But yes, we are working on cutscene. It's a pretty ambitious cutscene for RPG Maker. A few things have been a little bit, had to look outside the box to get a few little things working. But yeah, so we've got to that point, and there might be a few little bits to tidy up in between that little sequence, but it's at a stage now that it doesn't look horrendous and everything's running smoothly. But we're going to work on the next bit. I think we've got a few seconds of the cutscene left we can potentially work on. So we got Rose to successfully jump on top of the cart, but we got to do a few more things. So that's what today is going to be about. And anything I don't finish, I'm going to be doing off stream tomorrow and the weekend. And yeah, I'm excited. Hi Kung, how you doing? It's good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Now, you're not wrong, Binary says. Programming is important, but so is art, sound, design, producing, teamwork, marketing, QA, and all the things stack lovely together. Exactly. Like, there's so many different roles. And if I was gonna work in a studio, it wouldn't be a coder job I'd be applying for, put it that way. There's probably several other roles in a studio I'd be doing before that, because you got to go where your passion is and what you're best at and where your skill sets lie. So yes, that's what people need to realize. I think many do, like people like Binary and most of the people who hang out here know that. But there is always a few people who might just be getting into game development that think it's just about coding. And yeah, totally. If you're interested in coding and it's a passion, do it. It would be an excellent thing to learn. I wish I was good at it, but like I said once, we didn't study it at school when I was younger. It wasn't a lesson. Never existed as a lesson. You need to do some SQL injections and things like that before you start hacking the school. Yeah, my teacher was like, what is all that text on your screen? I'm calling the system administrator. She never did though. My goodness, these teachers need to just trust the children a bit more. Not every child's naughty. Goodness me. There are plenty of ways to make games without code. Yeah, and you know, nowadays, I say nowadays, but something like RPG Maker's been out for decades. You know, there's software out there where if you're not a coder, you can still put something together. And yeah, maybe some people just don't realise that. And those people who claim that are the ones you never... Those people who claim that are the ones you never want to work with. Yeah. If they don't know, they don't know. I work in IT at my full-time job, and the things we hear people talk about, like some are either really paranoid or just don't know anything about computers. Yeah. People. Humans, who needs them? Apart from you humans. You guys are good. I claim nothing, just want to learn and make cool stuff. Yeah. Hacking most public institutes are probably more like user admin, password admin. Oh, I wasn't saying you, Doc. I was responding to Rose, saying the programmers that claim it's the most important thing. Yeah. And it might not even be people who are programmers. It could be young people who are just learning game development and might be just a bit have a bit of misinformation. Maybe they assume that coding is everything. But yeah, I think anybody with a bit of knowledge knows that there are a ton of skill sets and different roles when it comes to making a video game. That's why you have the credits of all these different people and different departments, you know. So I wonder when the next time will be when someone comes in and he's like, you were coder lady. I have a personal project I want to put together, which is the reason I went to college for game design. Hopefully one day I can make that happen. Oh, cool. Awesome. That's a good thing to study at college. I always wonder where I'd be if I studied that instead of the degree I did. Interesting. But yeah, it's definitely a good one. I've already read that bit. My goodness me. I try my best, you know. I mess with scripts sometimes, if that counts. Okay, so right, so I'm gonna think what to do. When it comes to coding in RPG Maker or trying to make something work, especially in a cutscene, most of the time it just involves thinking how you're going to do something. Like just being a bit creative and doing something. It's a bit like a puzzle. Like, just to get Rose to land on that cart, it was a very simple solution eventually. But it's not like anything that is easily integrated into RPG Maker. You have to kind of be a bit smart about it and think, how am I going to pull this off? But it's usually not too difficult once you know. That's coding in general, problem solving. Yeah, I'm good at problem solving when it doesn't involve lines of code. So like when it's like, how are we going to handle this sprite moving across here? Oh, I know, we can get Photoshop and just put it on the sprite sheet like this. But that's problem solving I can do, like more visual problem solving I'm better at. Right, okay, so we do have a little problem to solve today as well, because one thing with RPG Maker is that it's very limited in terms of its animations, I believe. I think if I want to be a bit ambitious, I'm going to need a plugin, but I'm not sure there is one that's super. I'm going to look into it more, but I think I might have a way to deal with this. I kind of want to animate Rose, basically. I don't want it to just stand here and that be the end of the scene when the cart goes past. I want her to walk up to the cart and drop down and for blood to splurt everywhere. But you know, it's easy to say that, but to do it's another story. And sometimes you have to simplify these things because, like I said, there's limitations. So the thing is, the cart doesn't stay on the scene for very long. I'm gonna do another test play again just to see how long she's actually on the screen for. Dava, thank you for the host. How are you doing today, Dava? I hope you're having a wonderful morning. So yeah, she's there for about 2 seconds. So I think the 3 frames that we have of the cart moving might be all we've got for Rose. Carol needs to turn around as well, so she actually sees Rose. But we're going to do Carol afterwards. We'll deal with Rose first. So far my morning has been sleep and sleep. How are you, Rose? I'm doing good, Dave. We've had some good chats today, haven't we, team? Been having some good chats. And I'm glad you've been getting sleep. We all need sleep. That's for sure. Ghosty as well. Thank you for the host. Oh, you guys are too kind to me, Ghosty and Dave. How are you doing, Ghosty? How are things? Okay, so I'm going to try something. We're going to see what happens if we try and make a little animation out of this. And there's not much we can do with 3 frames, but you know, that's all RPG Maker allows us to do. The thing is with these sprite animations is that they always loop as well. So whatever we have here with Rose's movement, it would loop. But luckily, because of the scene we're working on and because the cart is moving so fast, she'd probably be off the scene before the loop happens. Anyway, so this could work out. And I am going to Google if you can do more than 3 frames in an animation. Mainly for the future in cutscenes, because this particular one we might not need more. Because of how quick everything's happening with the cart. And if we slow the cart down, we can't really do that because we need to give the impression that the hijacker's running away really fast, driving away, riding away. Yeah, so we could have always slowed down the cart to just get more Rose stuff in there, but it has to go faster. Okay, so I'm gonna Google RPG. Yeah, getting more than 3 frames of animation. This is exactly what I was after. Oh, this is for battlers, so it's actually a different thing. Yeah, event animation is what I'm after. This sort of thing is only like something for cutscenes if you wanna do something really cool and fancy, I guess. But sometimes you can do quite a bit with a few frames. The Oliver and Hank section didn't go too badly. Escaping, hijackers are escaping. They are. But there was something I thought of to make it seem like there's more than 3 frames of animation, like to give the illusion that there is. I had an idea. It's a little bit messy and complicated, but I think it might work. So we could test that. It literally would, all it would be, because at the moment we're using 2 different cart character sheets. Well, they're not characters, because a cart's not a character. We've got 2. We've got this one, cart number 1 and cart number 2. So we could always make more of those images and just change the image the graphic image, and then it will increase from 3 to 6. I know. I don't know if that will work. It's the first thing that popped in my head, but we could always test it. Because the good thing about movement routes in RPG Maker is that it does allow you to change the graphic. And I've also downloaded a preloader plugin now. Where is it? Image cache. I struggled to find one that worked for a while, but now I've got this one and it's all set up and it's easy enough to do. You just have to put the image and it preloads the image so you don't get a weird flicker. So that's pretty neat. Won't know until you try, right? Exactly. It's all about that. It's all about just messing about and experimenting sometimes when in this software, especially the cutscenes. It's the most creative, one of the most creative parts of all. If you want to do something other than characters just standing in the same spot and talking to each other, if you want to create something fancy and action based, then yeah, sometimes it's going to involve thinking a bit. So we have Rose here. Let's grab one from the back. Actually, yeah, we won't have do the back one yet because that's a bit soon. We have to, I think what I'm going to do, yeah, I'm definitely going to try and make a little animation of what I've got in mind for this scene. But we're definitely going to need more than 3 frames. So let's just get Photoshop up. We're definitely going to need more than just these frames. So we will probably have to copy the image and do another image and call that one, and then we'll get an extra 3 frames from that one. But I don't know, because like I says, the cart moves by quite fast, so we might not have much time for more than the 3 frames. We can always test. So I'm gonna literally grab this. And just for testing purposes, I'm doing this so we can see at what point in the scene we get to this frame. And if it's not right at the end, then that shows we'll have more room for more frames. So. But there's going to be blood in this scene, everybody. This is the moment when Raindrop Chronicles is going to become R-rated. And that's a question I've got, actually. If there's blood in a game, does it become R-rated, or can it still be classed as PG-13? I don't know the rules for some of these things, because I know. I like your hair. Thank you, Rex. How are you doing today? I think it's still PG-13. Oh, is it? So what would be classed as, what would make it have to be R-rated? Like, how far would you have to go for that? It might depend on the amount of blood, yeah. Because I'm interested in it, and it wouldn't be a bad thing if Raindrop Chronicles did become R-rated, if it allowed us to be more ambitious with what we want to do. Then I don't care. In terms of like language, we're not going to really have swear words in our game, because it's all going to be fictional curse words we're going to use, because it allows us, it's just a good opportunity for world building and creativity to make up our own. So in that regard, we're PG-13, but when it comes to violence, we might be crossing the line a bit, especially because we're going to have blood in the game. And, you know, we might, who knows, have dead bodies with heads chopped off. Who knows? I like your style, Rex, says Dava. I think there is a mild violence rating. Oh, right. Depends on the context and how much of it there is. It has to be rated by the ESRB. Oh, okay. Don't games use different ratings, like M for mature and T for teen? Oh, do they? Am I going by how it is in the film industry? Teen can have blood. Oh yeah, Raindrop Chronicles would, at the moment, I'd say it's for teens, not children, but teens for sure. I guess it's just whether it might ever become mature instead of teen. That's, I'm wondering if it will, what I'd have to have in the game for it to change from teen to mature. And I wouldn't ever do that on purpose, just for the funsies. I'm not going to be like, I'm going to make it mature because that's cool. I'd only make it mature if, like, one of the cutscenes ever, you know, happened to go a little bit far. And if it did, then so be it. That will have to happen. Don't show any severed body parts and you're good. Okay. See, it's very difficult at this stage to say yes or no to that, because I don't know. We might have body parts that are... We might have that. It all depends where the story goes, doesn't it? Whatever wins the polls, whatever the community favour. So right now there's a question mark, I guess, on what it's going to become. Okay, from what I see online, R is R, restricted. No one under 17 admitted without accompanying parent or guardian. This rating is given for frequent strong language and violence, nudity for sexual purposes, and drug abuse. Yes. Well, in our game, it's definitely going to be the violence that will be out of those. The nudity thing? No. Unless you count a naked barrel as nudity, I guess. Rose, this will help. Thank you, Azriel. I'll save that link. I'll get on my notepad file and pop that in there and have a little read of that later. Thank you. Some material may not be suitable for children under 13. Any nudity has to be non-sexual and any swear words have to be used sparingly. Violence in PG-13 may be intense but must be bloodless. Right, so they say no blood. Well, nah, Raindrop Chronicles is going to have blood. You cannot have a game with a vampire without blood in it, for sure. Well, there's some blood in 14 and it's still rated teen for teen, though there's very little. Yeah, they're very subtle with the blood. I only ever remember blood in the Suyu arc in Stormblood. Was there any other part in the game that had blood? I may probably only know it being in that because that was the one I've really watched a bazillion times because I loved that part. Barrels are nude. They are barrels. Only Meryl has some decency, does she? Does she really have decency? She totally does. Because she's covering up her nakedness. 14 actually has a rating that says mature themes. Oh, does it? There we go then. It's because the blood's there. Donald Duck never wears trousers and they get away with it, so you are fine, Rose. I'm so glad that that emote was allowed. Because while I was making it, I was honestly thinking Twitch are going to say no to that. Because it's too sexual. And they approved it. I thought bra emotes were banned from Twitch. Well, they can't be because butt ones aren't, so why would bra ones be? That would be double standards. So, I'm glad. Very happy. Right, so did I save this image? I can't remember if I did because I'm already doing the cutscene, so let's hope I did. Okay, so looking at that, the frame that we added in for testing happens at least twice, but I'm gonna have to watch it again. That means we could get at least 6 frames out of that then, maybe even 9. Raunchy barrels. I can't even remember who it was who said a barrel with a bra. I wish I did. But if it wasn't for that person, Meryl never would have existed. So this is why a community game is just so cool. I'd imagine that the mature themes are more related to the alcohol use. Interesting. And who knows? It's very difficult to know what sort of content is going to be in this game, considering the way we write it, how it's all improvised and the community suggests things. Things could get pretty crazy for all we know, and it could end up an R-rated game. One of the reasons is listed as animated blood. Oh, right. So it can be teen if there's blood. So, but it's probably becomes R if the bodies are kind of chopped up, I guess. Which I'm not going to say no to us doing that. You know, if we have body parts off, then fair enough. One of my favourite RPG Maker games has heads off and stuff, so I'm kind of inspired by that one. So, oh my gosh, that's probably sounds super violent now. But that's where my name comes from. I'm not Rainblood for nothing. Press F to thank Nameless Barrel Bra Suggester. I'm pretty sure that this game would fall under animated blood, so you'd be fine. But if I had like heads in the road without bodies with blood coming off them, what would it be then? Because I could do that in this scene. One thing we need is the hijacker who got killed to be on the floor dead. I mean, the person the hijacker killed. And I'm thinking how his body could look. We could go well over the top and have his head off. But we could also be like, no, we'll be nice. We'll just have a body, no blood. You know? 14 of cutscenes with live actors and the blood was more real, then they might have to make it mature. Might be a good idea just to do what you're going to do and worry about the rating later. You can always edit for a rating that you want. Yeah. And I guess it's like not a big deal. I think it's because I always thought that Raindrop Chronicles is going to be PG-13, but I'm only realising now that it might not be. But I don't care either way, so we'll see. Sometimes things have to be adjusted. It happens. My plats are sort of falling out. This one here. Okay, so we have got room for quite a few frames, which is cool because it allows us to be a bit more ambitious with what we can do with this particular bit with Rose. But we will have to spread it across a few images because we're only allowed 3 frames per image. So let's... This is cart 2. Let's make 2 more. This is cart 3. Yeah, I think we won't need more than an extra 2. But looking at the cutscene, I think we got room for between 3 and 9. So I'm going to test again. I'm going to say, I'm going to call this cart forward. I'm going to see if this appears, because once we know how many frames we need, I'll know we got to start knowing how many frames we need before we actually begin. That'll probably be the best thing to do. So that's cart 4. This can be cart 3. We'll get rid of that one there. I don't know if we'll see it though, because like 9 frames might be a bit much. We might not be allowed that many. And I hope this is gonna work. This is experimenting, by the way, because I've never attempted to make an animation with multiple images before. Hopefully it's smooth and looks fine. I guess we're going to test it and see. 14 is rated PG for those wondering. It looks like it's the same in Europe. Okay, so 16. So it's not PG-13, it's PG-16. If that means what I think it means. I need to have a bit more knowledge on these things. Also, Rex, you should have the new emotes. I've just realised. You have Vivi emote, which means you've also got Meryl as well. Heyo, Reaper of Soul here. Hi, welcome. Are you on your other account? Hope you're having a good day. Thanks for stopping by. Okay, so I think every time it moves up that counts as a frame. I'm assuming so. So then cart 3 will changed at that point, and then cart 4 at this point. So I'm not 100% sure if that's the right position, but we'll see. Might have to move them down. because I do believe it moves up a bit before. We'll see. We'll do a test. We only know by testing this if it's going to work. I don't have an option for that. An option for what? Sorry, I forgot what the context was of that. How's the game making going? Hi Yasmin, welcome to the stream. How are you doing? It's not going too badly. We've been focusing on a lot of cutscene stuff this week, but next week we're probably going to be moving on to some other stuff. The next part. The barrel thing you mentioned, you said okay, it's flickered, and the reason for that is because I need to add it to the plugin, the preload plugin, because that's what happens when you change images. There's always a silly flicker, so we just got to add cart 3 and 4 here. Hi Shuford, how are you doing? Welcome. You said I'd have Bibby, so I'd have the others. Yeah, you should. You? Yep. Doing good. I don't have them, but that's okay. Well, that's weird. That must mean you don't have the bit tier then. Did you hack Vivi? Did you hack to get him? I dabble. I'm only kidding. It's not possible to hack Twitch, I don't believe. I dabbled with RPG Make XP years ago when it was just fresh out. Oh yeah. I think I might have played XP. I definitely played 2000. We used 2000, and there was definitely another one I used too, but I can't remember if it was XP. But welcome to stream, thanks for stopping by. Okay, so that test has shown that 9 frames is too much, because the purpose of it was to see if we see her turn. And that's the 9 frame that happens. And we didn't. So that means we have to move her to the 8 frame and see. We definitely will be allowed at least 6 frames. That's for sure. But whether we are allowed at 7 or 8, I don't know. And we'll find out now. I didn't know that you could have more than 1 bit badge image. Oh no, it's not a bit badge. It's an emote. Sorry, but sorry if it's confusing. Nowadays, I'm a software dev and program everything myself, even some smaller games I already made, but nothing I ever published. Oh, you should totally publish them. That sounds cool. And feel free to share them in our creative work channel in the Discord if you ever do join. I encourage that. It's an emote. These are the only emotes I have. Oh, right. Well, okay. That is weird. But I guess so. I just don't want to mislead my community, because people, I did tell people that they'd have the emotes, but Twitch's fault, not mine. Binary Ferret has his. Also making a Discord bot and a Twitch bot. Oh, that sounds cool. We need more Discord bots. There's not enough cult ones. I don't understand the connection with bit badges though. Oh, I only said you've got Vivi because that tells me you've got 500 bits, Rex. And you should have both Carol and Meryl if you've got 5,000 bits, not what, 500. That means that you should have them because Binary has. Well, he's got Carol anyway, which is 1,000 bits. Oh my gosh, Kung. Kung's got a butt emote. I was shoveling sales, so communicating one-handed with emotes. But if you don't have them, never mind. I must be mistaken. I don't know, you could separate emote typed how many bits you've cheered. Yeah, you can. You can. It's new. I got a notification saying it 2 days ago, so I spent the last 2 days making the emotes. Is that through Twitch? Yep, it is. It's not really being talked about much though. It's like it's a secret. Twitch haven't talked about it a lot, but I know. I was like, this is an excuse to make Carol and Meryl. Okay, so I don't think it showed again. Looks like 8 frames is too much. Got to allow 7 though. I like your boots, guys. Yours are cute, Yasmin. Cute kitties. It might not be out for everyone. I didn't get an emote. I didn't get a notification. Well, I'm going to send Twitch a very nasty, well, not nasty because I'm not nasty, a strongly worded email and say, you are making me lie to my community, Twitch. How dare you? Because I wrote a Discord I pinged everyone last night telling them that they have the Carol and Meryl emotes if they have the 1k and 5k bit badges, and if that's not the truth, then I'm in trouble. I'm lying to my community and I feel bad. Well, that scene looked fine to me. Yeah, we're doing some testing, Shuford. I'm glad it looks fine because it's meant to, but we're doing some testing to see how many frames we might be able to fit in on this little bit where Rose is on the cart, because we want to kind of just make it a bit more fancy. We want to add a bit more. We don't want Rose just standing on there like a vegetable. We want her to do a bit of stuff when she gets on the cart. So I'm going to, I have a good feeling that we'll see this frame at this point. Oops, I accidentally deleted that. Which would mean if we do that 7 frames is what I have room to do for this particular animation. Let's have a look. Don't mind, I saw your ping, I didn't understand it completely though. Oh right, what should I have said instead? So I have to type them in manually. I can't choose them. They didn't show up on your emote list. Oh, okay. Oh, right. That must be on Twitch's end then. They're going to have to, probably have to update it if they haven't got it in the emote list. That might be not why they've not made an announcement yet. Probably because it's not finished. Good. I'm gonna reload RPG Maker because this is a bit odd that we're not seeing this frame, which tells me that the images might not loaded in. So we're gonna refresh the software and do it again. Because I was quite confident we'd see Rose's face up in that particular scene, but we didn't. Might be in beta and only a select number of streams get access to it, so really cool that you got it. Yeah, maybe it is. It's been available to partners for a few months now, and I think they're only just bringing it in for the rest of everybody else. So if you didn't get a notification, maybe it's because they haven't set it up for you yet, but they probably will, because that's the plan. So for every streamer to have be able to have bit tier emotes. It's not a bad feature, but I like it even more if we had more emote slots, but you can't have everything you want, can you? But at least peeps get it forever. There's been a bit of mixed opinions about them. Some people think Twitch are becoming more money grabby by introducing this feature, but you know, once you've got the bits, well, not the bits, you've got the emote forever then, unlike sub emotes, which you don't have anymore if you're not subbed. So I guess it depends. Keep at it, Rose. Gotta do some work on my own project. Have a great stream and everybody have a great day. Take care, Shiva. Thank you for hanging out. Hope you have a nice day. Okay, so it definitely doesn't show. We must only be allowed 6 frames then. But that's not too bad. We can still do a bit with 6 frames. So we won't need... But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Maybe I've done the setup wrong. Now, I'm going to test this way. It's fine. This is like something I've not done before, so... But it's fun to experiment. So... This is card free, so it really should show up now on this one. We definitely are allowed at least 6 frames. So if it doesn't show up, it's because I've set it up wrong. Well, to be fair, bits in their entirety go towards the streamer, so it's a win-win. Yes, the person paying for the bits pays a small extra that gives Twitch their cut, but when someone cheers 1,000 bits, all that goes to the streamer. Yeah, it's not bad. I can understand what people mean though when they say Twitch is becoming a bit money grabby, because there's this like gift a sub to be #1 leaderboard thing up there, and I want it to be the bit one. I don't want the gift sub one up there, but Twitch don't let you have it to your liking. And it's a bit frustrating because just a month ago the bits were up there, but now you've got to scroll, press the arrow to see the bits. And it's like, no, I want to see the bits first. I don't want the arrow, because, you know, it's like they're saying, you can gift subs everybody, and it's a bit money grabby. You could trade it though, right? You have to scroll, yeah. And the point is, I don't want you guys to press the arrow to see who's donated bits. I'd rather the bits be there instead of the gift subs, is what I'm trying to say. And I'd like it if in the dashboard it gave you the option to see the bits instead of the gift subs. Like, the gift subs can still be there, but I'd rather that be the one on the arrow when you press it. So it's just a complete preference thing. Like, that's my preference. And it doesn't let you change it to bits instead, which is a bit strange. But considering just a month ago, the bits and the gift subs were there. They had them both there side by side, and it seems like it's a recent change. And it makes me just wonder why they keep tinkering with things, but us as streamers don't get a say in it. It'd just be nice to have a little bit of more flexibility in how we want to present our channel. You can't change the default. Yeah, It'd just be nice if you could. Especially when people have given bits like Fantasia and Binary and Sean. That's not on show, and I'd rather it be, considering people have... Did they deserve to have their name? Nah. But it's hidden away. I'm always a fan of more options. And hi, Nakama, welcome. Nakoma or Nakama, what's the right way of me to say that? Welcome to the stream. But yeah, it seems like they're doing a bit of messing about Twitch, because I've seen that leaderboard, the UI of it has changed like a few times in the last couple of months. And it seems like they're sticking with this one now. And I'm like, no, I liked it before. Give it me back. That's what I'm feeling. Nakama. Nakama. Or I can call you Nak for short. That'll work, I hope. And thank you for the follow. Welcome. And anybody that is hanging out here for the first time today, here's our website if you want to have a little look. And I'm from England. I think we did see the frame there. You guys didn't see because I didn't have the test play screen up for you. But I think we saw the frame. G Sora, welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a good day. And thank you for the follow. Oh yeah, so she did turn up, and there was definitely room for another frame in there. Because she turned back. I'm breaking the boundaries of RPG Maker, everybody, at the moment. So, why is her head chopped off as well? And she turns forward. Ah, I know why. Because she's too high up, damn it. I've completely forgot that you couldn't... Gonna have to think how to go about that then. Okay. It's because it's outside the tile set and I completely forgot. So she should have to be there, which is right, it's not too bad. We can still make something work with that. Yeah, we'll stick with a 6 frame and see what we can do with that. But if we do stick with the 6 frames, then we don't need card number 4 anymore. Or, yeah, we can keep card number 4 and keep that as all the final frame. Okay, we'll do that. I'll do this another way. I need to get her in the right position. That's what I'm trying to do, so she's not like any pixels off, but it's hard to do that when it's on another sheet. That's why I tried to copy and paste the whole thing, but then I realised that the horses' heads were in a different position. So this is going to probably stutter because I've not put them in the right position just yet, but we'll sort that out another time. Because that might not necessarily end up being the final frame anyway, very likely not, because there's other things I want to put in. We'll close our picture maker down, we'll do another quick test, and then we're going to start making the animation. But really, once this animation thing is done with Rose, the rest of the cutscene is a bit more simple. We just want Carol to turn and witness it happening so she notices Rose, because that's the ultimate goal of the flashback. She knows Rose, and she knows that Rose is on the cart and escaped with her family. And the rest of it's just adding sound, tidying things up, and adding maybe a bit of dialogue in between. I'm hungry already and I just had lunch. What is going on with me? Why has it gone back to that one when I've changed it? Sometimes it makes me wonder if it doesn't load or something for a bit. The images properly when stuff like that happens, because I'm sure I've got it set up properly. And as I briefly mentioned yesterday as well, you can't actually see Hank with a hole in him in that scene because it's so dark. So I might put a poll up next week on Monday. I think it's a bit late now to do it, but it's going to involve Hank, whether we should see the hole as the player or not see the hole and it be something that gets revealed later. And I'll word the poll properly so people understand what I'm talking about when we do it on Monday, so that nobody's confused. Okay, something isn't set up right because the frame is changing back to cart 3 when it shouldn't be. Which make me think the move up things aren't set up right. Just for testing purposes, I'm doing that. Because I thought it was with every move up it changed to frame. That's what I thought, but it might not be the case judging by what's going on here. It's all a big puzzle solving thing. This cutscene malarkey. Okay, so she stayed up. She had her head chopped off though on the one of them, and I know why that is. It's because I didn't... Oh, well, it shouldn't be the case. It should be low now. Why is her head chopped off then? When I've edited all the sprites, let's just have a peep at what we've got. Maybe one of them hasn't saved. That's fine. That cart 3 hasn't loaded in. Or maybe I didn't save it. Okay, should be good now. And it did work, so it does seem that the moving up thing and the positioning of where I changed the image is what wasn't quite right. So we're going to start making the scene. It's very hard to judge at the moment how many move ups we need in between the image change when all the frames virtually look the same right now. So we'll just start and then we'll change it to what it should be afterwards. So this is where it all begins. Rose lands on the car, and I think that is fine as a first frame. And then she could take a step, I'd say. Also, that's her walking. We need to show her what we need to get the illusion of her walking. It's all so precise, like every single frame of every cutscene for me, since I've been doing this scene, I've crafted very precisely. So that's about 30 pixels. I think that if we do 10 for each step, that'll be about the right amount. So they could be our first 3 frames. But the middle one needs to be up 1. Because when she isn't stepping, she's a little bit higher. She's 1 pixel higher. That's how the walking animation goes. Okay. So we'll save that one and then we'll do the next 3. I'm just copy and pasting this so I can get the positioning correct, but then it will be deleted. Oops. Okay. Wouldn't hurt to just... So really now this one is the same as what that is. We're not having that as our last price. We want to have some more stuff happening now. We've got room for at least 2 more animations. And I know what it's going to be. I have an idea anyway. I just hope that 2 more will be enough. But we'll test and see. Thank you, Nemo, for that follow. Appreciate it. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a wonderful Thursday and the rest of chat. Those of you lurking. Okay, so that one can go. So we've got that. She's walking slowly over to the middle of the cart when she lands, and then she turns around at this point, and now she's going to murder them. That's what's going to happen next. So what I want to do is her to show that she's jumping to the front, and all of a sudden there's going to be blood, and it's just, I'm wondering if it's going to be enough. 2 more frames for this. One of the problems is we can't make her go any higher than this because she'll get cut off. The sprite, like, it only allows you to fit her in there around about that, so she can't be any higher. So she could literally just disappear. It could make it seem like she jumped. I don't know. I just hope it'll look okay when we test. We'll see. There is a way around it. We can do the thing we did with Hank and Oliver, where we split the tiles and hadn't, like, sort of a bunch of tiles together to give the illusion it was all one big tile. But we ended up changing that because it got really messy. I'd rather not have to do that for this. But we'll see. So that can be a blank sprite. It might just look a bit too, it might not look very smooth if she just suddenly disappears. That's my only concern, but we'll just see how it goes. And I'll just look for something now that we might have. Oops, what have I done? There we go. Give me a moment, guys. I'm just looking for a particular graphic. Go away, Creative Cloud. I accidentally clicked on that. That's what I did. Now, we could always do this another way as well. So I'm going to see. I'm going to try both. My goodness gracious. Clicking on that thing has slowed everything down. Give me a minute. I'm just opening up my task manager to to shut down Creative Cloud. Don't even know why it's appeared. Okay, it should be gone now. Yep, it's gone. Hooray. Okay. I just want to see how it looks. Yeah, it's going to be a bit hard to do with this black background, so we might do it in RPG Maker, because you can set it up so an animation plays in the event editor. So we'll see how that goes instead. But she has to be gone as well on here. She'll have jumped off by that point. We could actually just change it back to cart 1, I guess. We don't even need cart 4, because the graphical of cart 4 will look the same as what cart 1 did. So we'll get that one saved. There, so that's cart 1 again. Cart 3 is not updating, so we'll close it and reopen. And I'll get my snack soon, because it's the 5 PM mark. How is it 5 PM already? What is happening? I thought it was 4, not 5. For some reason, cart 3 isn't updating, which means it didn't save. And I thought I did save it, so we'll save it again. I've actually got some chocolate over there, but I'm gonna be good. Gotta go, it's nice to see you. Oh, take care, Kung, thanks for stopping by. I think I've got the same email as you. Hee. Take care and have a lovely day. Well, I've started up a test play. Wasn't meant to do that yet. Okay. The Steam thing keeps coming up every time I open barbecue again. I want that gone. Gets in the way sometimes. Why is it? For some reason, graphic cart number 3 is still the old version, even though I've saved it at least twice now. Oh. I've been saving it in animations like a big silly, because that was the last folder I opened. That's a lesson. Always pay attention to what folders you save your images in, because that's usually the obvious reason for why an image isn't updating. Saved in the wrong place. Okay. I was going to say, that was very, very odd. I'm going to save them all again, just in case I saved them all in the animations folder. Oh, we don't need cart 4 anymore. Okay. Oh, hello. Hi, Cup. How are you doing? Good to see you. I hope you're having a good day. How are things going? Also, hey, gang. Really like your pixel emotes. Needs to be more pixel emotes on Twitch. As somebody who has pixel emotes too, you don't see them enough. Okay, so now everything's in place. I'm gonna test this and see how it's looking. Now we've got the updated animations on the sprite sheets. Okay, so what I think might have happened there, I've got a theory, because obviously that all went very wrong. The rose on the cart part, that is. I have a theory, but I want to watch it again. Oh shoot, look at all this, yeah? We're getting the scene put together, that's for sure. We're working on the hard bits first. So she walked one space and then it went back to the old frame. So I think we just need to, I think we're changing the image a bit soon, is what I think's what's happening, but I need to work out how many frames before it changes. I think she only takes one step. Yeah, she landed and took one step, which means there's still 2 more, well, 1 more, I think, before it changes. We'll do that. We'll just add the 1 extra and see if what that does, but we might need to add a couple more extra move ups. It's cold. That's what you get for wearing a t-shirt in the coldest time of the year in the UK. That is why we wear turtlenecks, gang. Keeps us nice and warm and very comfortable as well. Okay, so what is going on? The images are set up fine, so it's definitely in RPG Maker that it's a little bit off. I'm going to just add some more move ups. I actually don't own a turtleneck, but thought about getting some to put my snazzy game. I think turtlenecks are extremely fashionable, I have to say. I don't understand anybody that would think that they're not. I've got a few, and I actually wear my turtlenecks quite often. I do. The one I wore yesterday in particular, I worn several times on the stream. I rock a lot of scarves. I used to be into scarves. I used to have an obsession. I used to collect them. So for some reason, it's only doing the 2-step. I wonder why it's not doing that 3rd frame. Because I think there's far too many move ups now, so that's not the issue. I'm gonna put a weight and see what happens. Actually, I'm gonna put a weight in between each, because I want to get a closer look at this. Everything happens so fast, it's hard to know what the problem is sometimes. So if I just put a 60 frame weight in between each frame, I'll hopefully be able to figure out the problem. I think neck fashion is like +10 handsome game. I am very much into that necks as well. I like to wear the Peter Pan collars and chokers, and turtlenecks is part of that neck fashion, I might add. I've got a bare neck today, but it's out of rebelling. I'm rebelling today. But most of the time, I like to have the neck decoration. So Rose, what is going on with you? Why are you not walking as you should be? It might have got, actually, I think it did get to the 3rd frame. I'm going to have another look because we got... Why, Rose, are you in the wrong position in this middle frame, you silly Billy? I'm actually really confused right now because I know for a fact I put the right frame there, which is this one. No wonder it wasn't working. Because I was really thoroughly doing it. Let me get Photoshop up so you can actually see. For some reason, I've got the same frame. I'm not meant to. But I know for a fact I put this there. The VOD did prove it. So Photoshop, you went back in time. I didn't give you permission to. There. Now, that is how it should be. So essentially, does RPG Maker have set up variables you can adjust stuff for cutscenes? From what I've noticed, and I'm no expert here, I might be ignorant to things, but from what I've seen, it's very limited in what you can create in cutscenes, so you have to think outside the box a bit and use your own creativity to put something together. So I've just come up with a plan on how to do more than a 3-frame animation. So I've done copies of the images and we're just changing the graphic halfway through the middle of the animation so we can get more animation is all. But it's quite a simple solution that I hope will work well and smoothly. Hopefully we don't get some weird stutter from the image change, but hopefully it'll all go well. Neck Rebellion sounds like a band name. Yeah, it does actually. Neck Stream, very controversial. I know, you're right. Neck and shoulders, the biggest controversial female body parts of all. That's for sure. And also, who knows, maybe there's lots of ways to achieve what you want in cutscenes, but you do what you know, don't you? And I'm no pro when it comes to any math or code wise, so I tend to do things this way instead. But there's always multiple ways to achieve something when it comes to doing stuff like this, so it's always a win. Okay. Each game engine is different for sure, and RPG Maker definitely isn't perfect. I've already spotted quite a few limitations, but it's also super cool because there's tons of scripts out there and plugins to do things that you can't do, and it's generally quite straightforward to pick up. So things have their pros and cons. I think I saved that, but I might have put it in the wrong folder. Nope, it should be there. I'm just checking all the images are as they should be. Okay. So I'm going to still keep the 60 frames weights here just for testing purposes to see if all the frames are there and working. And I might go for a short BRB in a little while to just get myself a snack. Because my tummy is rumbling. It's always this time. I can't go 3 hours without food. I'll be honest. Can you guys? I can't get hungry, even if I eat just before stream. Okay, so she did do the walk then, so I think it's working fine. Which means we can. I don't know about if the rest of it's going to work. We'll just put the frames back in as they should. I think the 3 move ups in between each image change is how it should be. But we'll see. If there's any issue, we'll know in our next test play. You was getting hungry too? I have my lunch every stream, like before stream, every Monday to Thursday. Even on my days off, I have it at 2 o'clock just before I stream, and I'm always like I'm like by 5 PM, which is 3 hours after I'm starving, and I wondered if that's normal. Oh, streamers need to eat, and I don't like eating on stream either. I don't like chomping, so I tend to just eat something that's easy, like soy or almond milk, and that kind of fills me up until dinner. Okay, so for some reason we have a bit of an issue. The frame is repeating itself instead of doing what it should do. So I think we might have too many move ups then. We'll take one away and see. Well, I don't eat breakfast and it's just now 12:30, but I ate dinner at 7 PM last night, so I was slightly hungry. I'm one who can't eat when I first get up either. At least not in the first hour. But I tend to get absolutely ravish. I want food like crazy after about an hour of being up. Or 2 hours. But I definitely can't eat immediately when I'm up. Brunch is good though, because that's breakfast can be a bit early for me, but brunch is a sort of breakfast and lunch. What is going on with this? You guys didn't see that test play because I didn't put the screen up, but it's still being weird. I am going to put tons of weights in between. I'm going to put a weight in between every single frame that we have in this particular bit, so I can figure out what's happening. There we go. Hi Arctic, how are you doing? It's good to see you. Welcome. It's messed up even more now. I've done the weight thing because the cart's moving super slowly. Whoa. We're not even seeing the rest of the other frames for some reason. Because it's not that straightforward, you know, it's I'm doing something a bit unusual, so achieving that is taking a bit of experimentation to get the result I want. But I'm going to just get rid of those frames because we don't want that. Okay, and test it this way now. All good, how's it going? Not too bad. Just a lot of testing at the moment with a cutscene we're doing. But we're making progress considering where we were at the start of the week. We're getting there bit by bit. And I'll be finishing it off over the weekend, and by Monday's stream I'll have something to show you. And we can move on to the next tasks. I cannot speak. It seems that no matter how many weights, how long I put the weights in between, it's still, the frame is still going. It's independent of how many move ups you do. Yeah, it's an independent, and I think it's because it's on stepping. Maybe that's what it is. Let's have a look. It is on stepping, and it turns on the animation when character is not moving. And that worked in the first scene because it was actually on the spot. And I had a parallax map in the background that gave the illusion it was moving. But I don't think we need that on in this particular scene because it actually is moving in this scene. And I think if we do that, then we hopefully might fix one of our problems. So we'll do another test. Is this your first RPG? First one I'm taking seriously. Yes. I've experimented and stuff with, especially when I was younger, in some of the early RPG Maker softwares, but this is my first serious one. So guys, there's a website. If you want to read more, there is like a little information and stuff. It's all on there. But feel free to ask any questions because it'll help for my FAQ page when I put it together, but I have like a little bit of stuff about me in the footer, and it talks about my history with RPGs and all that stuff. So welcome to the stream. Okay, thanks. Yay. It's new. It was only launched last week. Yeah, so I think that did solve the little issue we had. Now she should only be moving with the move up, so we just got to get rid of the weights in between. We'll see how it looks without the weights now, and I'm assuming there'll still be something wrong because it didn't look 100% perfect there, but we'll put the weights back in again if we need to. I think we need another move up. Yeah, that was I've never used RPG Maker much. I'm not much help at LOL. Yeah, it's all good. Like most of the community here just enjoy watching and taking part when we have like some polls to do or anything like that. I'm the one who's actually building it, but if I ever do have troubleshooting, then sometimes there's people around who can help, or there's the RPG Maker forums. But it's not necessary to be an RPG Maker user to get involved in this project, because that's kind of my job. But you guys, you can still contribute when it comes to world building and all that sort of thing, and anything at all. Whoa, okay, so that really is not going as it should be. I think that the image change will count as a frame, so maybe we need to get rid of the extra move up there. We'll see how that goes. I'm a game developer, but limited use with RPG Maker. Because yeah, you can. Everybody has their own favourite softwares, and what is their thing. What ones do you use? I use RPG Maker simply for it's just perfect for the nature of this project and what we're trying to build and achieve. Okay, so I'm going to put the weights in again because everything's happening fast and there's definitely something that's slightly off with the animations here, so I'm not going to put them now though. Someone tell my tummy off, it keeps rumbling. Too busy to eat. Don't worry guys, I do eat though. I love my food too much to not. But when I get really, like, you know, into something, it's hard to stop. That was an interesting thing that happened earlier on. And why is it flashing at that point? Ah. Have I added them to the preload? Because there's a little flicker. I thought I did. We don't use cart 4 anymore. Cart 2 and cart 3 are there though. So that might not be the problem. It had 2 frames somewhere at one point as well, and I only moved up once. We'll watch it again. We'll work this out, we'll master this. I hope you guys can't hear my tummy. One, two, three. Okay, it's the second one. And she shouldn't be going back in that position either. She keeps like kind of doing that. I think there's too many frames before the change of the graphic. So the graphic changes here. We've got cart 2 and that's where she's meant to walk. She's meant to take a step at a time. I thought the stepping thing sorted that issue out, but it wasn't just that. So I'm going to get rid of that extra move up and that weight thing. And we'll see what happens then. Because there was like definitely too many frames repeating themselves there, so that might be the issue. A Viking game. Harvest Moon Stardew type game sometime. That sounds fun. A sort of simulation game would be fun to make. I've always wondered about that and I've always thought what engine would be best for a simulation kind of game. Game Maker's pretty flexible. I was looking into that recently for a project I might do in the future after Raindrop Chronicles. But it's not going to distract me from this just yet. To watch that again. Why does it do that? Okay. It's really weird how RPG Maker handles this animation frame movement, because I just want it to be as simple as that one, then that one, and then that one. 3 frames, one after the other. But things might not be set up right, so it's meant to give the, like when a character walks, it's one after the other, so this should be no different. But it's like it's just doing too many frames in rather than just one at a time. If I untick walking, it won't animate at all, I bet. You use Game Maker? Oh, so that is what you use. It's so easy to use. Yeah, I've heard that too, and it's pretty flexible. You can mostly make what you want in there as well. It's not, the learning curve's not too bad either. But this project, it's mainly about making an epic adventure together and at a reasonably fast pace. So RPG Maker's the ideal software for getting a story up in a reasonable amount of time, because it's a very visual engine. And it's not too tricky. I mean, if you try and do some pretty ambitious stuff with cutscenes, it can start to get a bit tricky, like what's happening here today. There's a lot of testing and stuff I'm trying to do, but that's because I'm really wanting to do something cool with this cutscene, and it's taking a little bit of messing about with, but yeah, I'm sort of trying to break RPG Maker. I'm gonna have to. I think I'm gonna have to do a few test plays though to understand what's happening, because sometimes you do. So we'll do it again. Plants vs Zombies. I like that game. I used to be obsessed with it back when it was on Xbox Arcade, and then it came on mobile. It's very cute, that game. Very, very weird stuff going on. It seems like with every single move up, it animates all 3 frames at a time with every step, which makes sense actually, because that's what it does with the normal walking character sheet animations. So I'm gonna have to think how I'm gonna get around that. It does make complete sense. And it seems that that's what's happening. So the way I've set it up isn't going to be, I would have to edit the number of frames, but I don't think it's going to allow that flexibility. So I might just need to design this a bit differently. Oh my goodness. There might be a plugin that does this more easily, so I'm definitely going to look into it after stream, because especially for the future, luckily this is a very short animation with only several frames, but if things ever get more complicated in the future, I might want another solution for this. So, but for now we can do it the hard way. This is a very pretty looking game. Thank you, Arctic. We haven't even done the parallax map of the cart area yet, so we'll be doing some parallax mapping Monday and Tuesday to make the area look super gorgeous. So yeah, we definitely got a lot more to do with that scene in particular visually, but we're doing the hard bits first. We're doing all the action sequence parts, and the easier bits we'll do next week. Okay, I'm gonna think how I'm gonna do this, and I was gonna get a snack, but I feel like I might as well just push through the rest of the stream now, because I've got dinner anyway straight after the stream. I'm very tempted to get my chocolate though, but I'm not going to. Okay. I know a way how I can do this, but it's just very long-winded. And it would be just to have the same graphic all on each of the 3 frames. and then make a new image for the others. So like I said, this is just a temporary one for just this part. I'm going to do this, but I'm going to look for an easier solution, a proper animation solution for next time when we ever have to do something like this. I'm not even sure whether this way will be that effective, to be honest. It might not work, but it's always good to at least try, just to say. So there, we need to and it's not like this way is, I mean, it'll work fine, I think, but it's just like I say, long-winded in a lot of images. But there's not really an easier way to animate in RPG Maker. Like I said, I might need a plugin that actually does the job that I'm trying to do in an easier way. Why don't I take a quick break to stretch? Yeah, I always rebel when people tell me what to do. So no Dark Angel. But yeah, I get into things. I'm not unhealthy, don't worry about me, please. I said that earlier. I said, don't get thinking I don't eat, chat. I'm fine. I'm very healthy. But at the same time, that's why I only stream for 3 hours, because it would be going a bit further than, you know, be pushing myself a bit much. Howdy, hi Chub Cheeks, how are you doing? It's good to see you. Hope you're doing well, Chub. Keep the blood flowing. I'm a very rebellious person now, I'll let you know that, chat. I had a mod once who, he got a bit power hungry. He was a good, well, 2 mods actually. They got a bit power hungry and started telling me what to do, because I was very good friends with them. And it ended up with them never coming to the stream again, let's just say that. So I get very rebellious, and they got blood rained on them in the end. But yeah, it's just me. I'm not one to take kindly to any form of being told what to do. Some people might. Some people are very polite about it and fine about it, but I think it might be to do with my history or upbringing or how things were, that I don't take kindly to it, but I always don't. I have a friend that streams and she has reminders in chat to tell her to drink water. Well, that's responsible. I won't fault that. I'm not a very responsible person. How are you, Chub? You might have some special emotes, Chub, actually, because I can see you've got a special badge that tells me that you might have unlocked some emotes. But I don't think they're appearing in the emote section at the moment. They're not showing up for some people, but they're there. You just have to type in the code. Right, so I think they're all in the right position now. So I'm going to save that and we'll do this, but it's going to be the really long-winded way. But I think we'll get the result we want afterwards. Emotes like what? It's there. Yay. They're Raindrop Chronicles themed emotes. Reality, thank you for the follow. Welcome. Hope you're having a good day. Yeah, it's just one of those new features Twitch has brought out, Chub, and I'm making the most of it, I guess, by filling in those slots. When I work on a game, I do everything on paper, so I have tons of paper everywhere. Otherwise, I'm an organised, clean person. Yeah, paper, my goodness. I'm left-handed, so I don't like pen and paper because black or blue, whatever pen colour you use, or pencil, all over my hand and arm. So, so I definitely am a fan of organising things on computer. That's for sure. I also don't have desk space, unfortunately. I've just about got enough room to fit on my 2 monitors, my microphone, my keyboard, my PlayStation 4, my bat, and some of my lights. I have a bunch of notepads in a box, and they're not even used. The last time I used when I wrote by hand was when I was at school. Hello, it's been a while since I've touched RPG Maker, so I'm curious how much it has evolved. Hi, Reality, yes. I don't think it's evolved too much. I don't think Envy is much different to some of the previous ones. In fact, some of the others are better, so I've heard. So yes. But it's doing its job. Sometimes it's doing its job anyway. We're doing our best to get it all put together. Andy Cake, how are you doing? You are left-handed. Ew, you're a left-handed shamer. Left-handed people, every single left-handed person I've ever met has always had, how shall I describe this? They're always very special, like very unique, quirky people, I find. They're one of a kind. I don't think I've ever met a left-handed person who is normal. I mean that in a very good way. It's a compliment. I need to go. Let me follow you before I forget. Thank you. Thank you very much. And that's the same about myself as well, because I'm one of those people. I'm left-handed. Yeah, I know, Rex. That I am referring to you as well when I say that. I will remember this, Rose. Well, it's a compliment. Don't forget I said it means a very good thing coming from me. One thing you should know about me is that I value people who aren't normal. I think they're the best of humankind. I will, yeah. So your mum's must be a very special person, Chub. Are these positioned correctly? And I'm not lying here, but most of the people in my life who I've actually had a good bond with, friendships and stuff, funnily enough, most of them have been left-handed. The people that are right-handed I've clashed with. Nothing against right-handed people. You're lovely. You're just more normal. That's the only problem. You're normal. And I'm not normal. So sometimes that can cause a bit of a clash of personalities. Please don't call me. See, now you don't want to be normal. Make your mind up, Chub. You were saying that being normal was what you said, as if like your mum not being normal was bad. But now you're saying being normal is bad. But yes, being normal, there's nothing wrong with being normal. In fact, you'll probably get on in life better and have an easier time of life. But when you're not normal, yeah, sometimes people are like, why'd you do that? Why are you the way you are? Why? Well, you might get judged a bit more. Those poor left-handed people. I had a teacher once that took the pen out my hand and put it in my other hand. That's the sort of discrimination left-handed people got back in the day. It's uncalled for. Okay, so that is all aligned properly too. So we might only get time to do... Sorry guys, I don't even think I'm even showing you Photoshop as I'm doing this. We might not get time to do the face front one, I'll say. Hang on, where is it? That's the face front one. It might be easy enough to do actually. Just... Oops. There, they're in position now. So I think that's it. See, so it's a bit long-winded, but with such a short animation that's like just a few frames long, it's not a big deal to have to do this, but for a long one it would be hell. So hopefully there's a way to do frame by frame animations easier with a plugin. I'm gonna look into that, but let's get this put into RPG Maker now before we finish up for the day. And don't worry, I will eat, I'll do some stretching. Okay, there we go, this is the one. Oh, do we have a cart 5? I don't know if we do. So that's the first one. Let me get rid of the weight frames because they're getting a bit confusing, seeing all them there. Oh, there is a cart 5, so I do need to add that one to the preloader. Otherwise the images will be all weird and do a little blink, and they're not meant to. And then it will change back to that one. So we'll see how that goes. I've got my fingers crossed that this is the way it's got to be. If it didn't take as long as I thought it would take, actually, I thought it would be a bit more time consuming to get that put together. Still can't believe you're left-handed. All that time wasted here on a left-handed person. I see that left-handed discrimination hasn't come to an end yet. When will that? It's 2020 now, chuck cheeks. I hope you're ashamed. But yeah, in the 90s, it was definitely a thing. Do I have to pummel you left-handed, Chubb? Because I will. Are you left-handed, David? Okay, so let's do a play test and see if this has worked. Oh really? Well, that's pretty cool. It's weird because I can do quite a few things with my right hand except for write. I use scissors with my right hand and eat with my right hand. But I can't write with my right hand. Okay, so it did work. Like, the walking bit was successful, just like I'd hoped. But like I said, the bit where she disappears is a bit sudden, and I had a feeling that that would happen before. RBG Maker and chat just crashed at the same time. That's quite creepy. Chat has like honestly disappeared. Is my stream crashed? That's really odd. I'm kind of creeped out. I think the internet and stuff is still working. I can see a chat coming up on my OBS box on the actual stream section, but I can't see it anywhere else. I see it on my bot. I can see it on my bot. That's weird, but it doesn't matter anyway. It's no big deal right now because we are coming to an end now with the stream, guys. So there's a bit to do still. I've got an idea of how I'm going to go about it, so it's all going to go well. I'm hoping, but I'll be doing it over my 3 days off because I only stream Monday to Thursday, and I'll be back on Monday, and I'll have this cutscene. It'll be more or less done. There might be a few little extra bits to just do, but it'll hopefully be all the simple stuff. But we're going to focus on parallax mapping on Monday. This little scene here, you see this road scene, we're going to make this pretty. We're going to talk about what can go there and start making it. And then we'll also do the car to make that look a bit better too. So we'll do that Monday. Thanks for hanging out, chat. And I will see you then. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Take care. Yeah, let's go.